Welcome to the Golden Square Podcast with your hosts, Linda Scott and Sharilyn Fisher. Are you ready? Because we're starting now. Hey! Hey, so how was your day, Sugar?
Wonderful day. How was yours?
It was a wonderful day. Guess what I did today? Okay, so if you don't see my children in the next couple of days, I cooked dinner for them.
Where? Let me lay hands on them. Where are
I
they?
know.
Boys.
I felt so good. I had so much energy. It was a great day. No, we ain't gonna talk about that just now. Just in case y'all don't see my cheering now, So, but no, I had a great day. I had a lot of energy. I was super excited about tonight's show.
Yeah,
I am so into this election, and I can't believe some of the things that we have learned.
Right, we've learned
That
so
is,
much.
that
to be our age and to be where we are.
Yeah.
So much we have learned about the election and election process that we did not know. So.
Because things have changed. What we thought, just like some of our viewers are going to be saying, I thought we can do this. I thought everything was clear, but when I heard the numbers. Let's have our guests to come on in. Yeah, let the viewers see who. Hey, Miss Birdie.
Good evening. How's everybody?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about being here.
Oh, great. Mike Watson, Missouri City, Texas, not going back. That's right, Mike.
That's
right. Exactly. So Sharilyn and I were just talking about how excited. First of all, we should just have you to introduce yourself to our viewers, because, girl, you got a lot to tell them.
Okay. Well, I'm Birdie Kelley. I am the Fort Bend liaison for State Senator Boris Miles, but I'm also the vice chair of the Fort Bend County Democratic Party. As that, I am one of the ones who give the information. When people call into the website for the Fort Bend Democratic Party, they will either get the chairman, Fred Taylor, or they will get me. So I am available to answer any questions they have about the party, but also any questions they might have about about voting, because I always want to be available for that. That is one of the things that I have been doing for years. I'm an election judge. I am a precinct chair. I'm a precinct coordinator, which means I'm over many precinct chairs. And I've also worked at the ballot board, which is where the voters, the mail-in ballots come in. So I have worked in many different areas. And that's why I feel like I am able to address perhaps any of the questions that you all might have.
Okay, so see, we told y'all
a lady
many hats and great hats. And Miss Birdie, Sharilyn and I was talking about how excited that we are to be a part of this year's election. And it's amazing how we thought it was one way, and now just being under your training, everything is so different. It is just unbelievable.
Mike Watson says you have the correct answers.
That's it.
Because I've learned so much just sitting in there. We were addressing the postcard, but I was addressing the postcard, but I could still hear you answering questions and people fielding questions to you. I've learned just so much. I'm going, well, I didn't know that.
Exactly. And you know what? My states are Florida and Texas. So I'm back and forth. But those are two crazy states. I'm like, if I go to Florida, it's crazy. If I stay here in Texas, it's crazy. How and what can we do about it, Ms. Birdie?
Well, you know what they say about Texas. It's easier to buy a gun than it is to vote. And that is so true. And it's unfortunate, but that it is. They put so many obstacles in our way to keep us from voting. To keep the people down that want to vote. And I'm not going to say that it's just the Democrats that they're trying to suppress the votes of, but they are targeting most of us because we're the ones that lack the education in some areas. So this is what we want. We want that information. Knowledge is power. So we want to educate our people. When we do voter registration, we will be doing voter registrations every Sunday in September at New Faith Church. And we don't call it voter registration. We call it voter registration /information. because that is
Okay.
most important. We want to register the people that are not registered, but we want to inform those who are, because
Are.
that is the key. A lot of people
Right.
will go to the polls on election day and encounter some kind of problem. But by the time they get there on election day, it'll be too late to fix it.
It'll be too late to fix.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was one of my concerns right there is to do the show tonight is I've heard NSNBC and CNN say that there's over 1 million people here in Texas alone who've been suspended, purged, however, terminology they want to use. But just guess what? You can't do nothing about it if you don't fix it right now. So how do we fix it right now, Miss Birdie? How do we get them to get on track?
The easiest way to fix it is, first of all, realizing that there's a problem. That's the first step with any kind of cure for anything, is realize that there is a problem. If you have moved, you need to go and you can just register again, because one of the options on the voter registration card is change of address. Because if you get to the polls on election day, early voting, and it will say that you are in suspense if you have moved and you have not corrected that address with the elections office. So if you have not corrected that address, and then now you need to fill out a statement of residence form. You fill out the residence form, everything is fine. You will get to vote. There's no problem as long as you still live in the county where you moved from. The problem comes about when you have moved to a different county. If you've moved to a different county, then now you can't vote because you are registered. Let us say you're in Fort Bend County, which is where I am, but you have moved to Harris County. It's too late for you to register for Harris County. It's election day. The last day to register to vote is October 7th. So if even early voting won't catch that. Early voting, October 21st through November 1st. So early voting won't catch that either. So so if you come up then, so what we want people to do right now, they can check their voting status. But if you know you've moved, don't even worry about it. Just go and re-register and update your address with the election administration. It's not even a big deal. You don't have to do can I vote, none of that. Just go and re-register again. Now you're saying, well, how in the world can I re-register again? That's where I come in at that elections office. I have voter registration cards in my car. I have all the time. I will register anybody. You can come to my office where I work anytime at all. I have met people at some strange places to give them a voter registration card so that they can register, because all you got to do is register. But you can register now and it's okay, no matter what your situation might be. But if you wait and you vote and you want to fill out that statement of residence card during the election, if you're in another county, it's a problem and you will not be able to vote.
You won't be counted. You won't be counted.
You move from one time, you go from Fort Bend to Harris. Now there's a problem because you don't have time to fix it then. So just go ahead and re-register. If the opportunity presents itself, register and update your address. That's the quickest and the easiest.
Is that the same format that they will be using if she or he changes their name as well?
Changing your name is not really an issue. All you have to do is put your initials in a little square. If your name is changed, that's not a problem. If we find you, all we do is get that little flip phone they give us. We will call the elections office and they will verify that, they will verify you in case we can't find you with your new name. But that's not a problem. That is not an issue.
It's the address that's the problem.
The moving, if you move. And this is the thing. If every 2 years, the elections office sends you your new voter registration card. And if you'll notice, it's a different color every 2 years. This year, it's yellow. So if they send it to you and you no longer live at that address, they will not forward it. Even if you have all of these instructions in place, forward my mail down the street, they will not do it because your voter registration is based on the fact that you live at that address. So if
Okay.
you no longer live at that address, they send that card back to the elections office and you are now placed on suspense. If
So
you
then
can't,
that way they okay, so I never received it. Okay, and November 5th you show up to vote. Well, there's nothing that nobody could do about it because you don't have time to correct it.
okay, this is the thing. If you move and then on November 5th you show up to vote, it's
Mhm.
fine for the first 4 years. Okay. You've got 4 years to get that straight. So now you ask yourself, how in the world did they manage to purge 1 million people when they
A
have four
million.
years to fix it? If you
Exactly.
go and vote, it can be fixed right there on the spot. So where did they get 1 million voters? How did they purge 1 million voters? Well, I'll tell you this. When I had my meeting with my precinct chairs, I have precinct chairs that makes me a precinct coordinator. I had
Yes.
the meeting with the precinct chairs. We looked at the primary vote turnout. It was pitiful. Okay.
Wow.
Less than 30% in 30,
Wow.
I'll say 30 precincts, less than 30% of the voters turned out in the primary. So
Wow.
now you have 70% of those voters did not vote. They did
Wow.
not vote. And the only reason they're going to vote this time is because of Kamala. I mean, it's because of Kamala.
Right, 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 right.
Right, Miss Jones.
Okay. So, but let me ask you this. So, God dang, that's a lot of people who didn't vote because people
That's
think
right.
that the most important time to vote is for presidential. And that's not. We need to vote every time somebody run for something so that we could have people in the right places.
We have to have, that's exactly right. Because you can have president in, look, we had President Obama for 2 terms, but he
Yes.
could only do what Congress
What
and what they allowed him to do. So we
exactly.
need to vote for those other people down the ballot, we call it.
Right.
We need to vote for those people so that the president will have support. We can't do
Right.
anything if there's no support there. So though the president has to have those people that are down the ballot to vote so that we have to have them in office so that they can get
Yes.
these bills passed. The president can sign off on it, but if he can't sign off on it, if we can't get it through Congress and we can't get it through the Senate,
And
so
see,
that's
and
what
that's what people don't
they don't
understand.
understand
They
that.
don't
Right.
understand that we need
Mhm.
all our judges, we need all
Yes,
our
we do.
Congress people, we need
That's
all
right.
our senators,
Yeah.
we need all of those people when it's time for us to vote for those people. We need to go ahead and vote. Like we need to vote Ted Cruz out. Okay, I didn't call nobody name, but yeah, we need to vote all these people out. That's important every time.
Right.
We need all the mayors. We need everybody.
Yes,
Every
we
time
do.
it's an election, we have to go and vote. Now I could say one year, one term, I think I missed on trying to get senators and all that kind of stuff. But I think everybody misplaces that thought that, oh, it's not important if I don't go get a judge. It's not important if I don't go vote for Congress, and that is so important because those are the
Yes,
people, as you just stated, that gets everything done. Then we got to put it on the president's desk. But
right.
if we don't put it on her desk, then she gonna look back. She didn't do nothing that she said she was gonna do because y'all didn't get the right
She
people.
couldn't do it. She's helpless. Her hands are tied.
A
If
tide,
those people are
exactly,
not in office to support her and to get her agenda on the books. Once they get her agenda over there, then she can sign off on it. She can't do anything if it
exactly.
doesn't get presented to her. And then not only do we need those down the ballot candidates to support our leaders, we need those down the ballot candidates because those are the ones who determine our day-to-day living.
Living.
They're the ones who build the
Exactly,
parks. They're the ones
exactly.
who take care of the streets. They're the ones who
Mm.
take care of the potholes, those
Yeah,
kinds
and
of
then
things.
Osby just said it's the same way in Florida, and that's what I was just stating that Florida is crazy and Texas is crazy because
Texas
both
is
of them
very
together.
crazy.
So
Texas is very
yeah,
crazy. And
crazy. So, but we got to get. They could be crazy as long as they want to, but we have to have sense enough that it's time for us to go vote and take over all of these things.
that's right. Education, as long as they understand
Right.
how important their vote is very important. And a lot of people are over there saying, oh, my vote doesn't count. look at those races where
Everybody
somebody
Yes.
won like 5 votes. Really?
Exactly.
Their vote
Exactly.
does count.
Because nobody didn't vote. That
right, right.
Right.
and
Because
then look
again,
at the chances of your child or your grandchildren. We'll say our grandkids. Our grandkids won't have that education that they need. They will
right.
never learn about this because they don't want them to know.
They
They
do
want them
not.
to think, "Oh no, your vote don't count. Don't worry, don't worry. We'll get
That's right.
somebody. Yeah, it'll be okay." And then we have an idiot like number 45. That's all I'm saying is that number 45. That and he gonna always be an idiot in my head. I could be wrong,
Don't
but
let her get on him, please.
whew, that is so crazy. That's the first real disrespectful white man that I've ever seen or encountered. Did I encounter? Yeah, I did with him. I can't understand why and how can we be bought from this man. That's all I that ain't all I want to say, but that's what I'm saying. I just can't see us allowing him to make the statements that he makes and we go by what he said. Um we don't Google him, but we'll Google Kamala, but we ain't gonna Google this idiot. And he's telling you that he don't care nothing about you, but you still go out and pay $1,500,000 for a pair of tennis shoes that's gonna tear up tomorrow. I don't get this.
A lot of people have been posting
I
on
don't get that.
social media that I am for Kamala. I am for Kamala, and I'm seeing it on social media a lot. But when I'm going in there and asking them, and says these young people are seeing that. They're seeing that you are for Kamala, and I want you to be. But I want you to tell these young people why. Tell them she's ethical. Tell them she can get the job done. You know, tell them why you are for Kamala, because they're hearing a whole lot
Of
about Trump.
craziness,
A
yes.
whole lot about Trump. Every time you turn the TV on, it's something about Trump. So I want these people to go in on your social media. When you say I am for Kamala, tell these young people why. She's qualified to get the job done.
And
She's
that number,
ethical.
that what I
She's
said,
professional.
that idiot number 45 says she's not, and she doesn't have any experience.
And that's what they're hearing.
That's what they hear.
But we need to tell them differently.
Yes.
We need to tell them differently. We need to tell them the true story about Kamala Harris.
That's right. And he's what kind of qualification does he have to even be a president?
He don't have any.
He has none. He has
none. See, now you're gonna make me start cussing Miss Birdie.
And
That man makes me crazy.
Yeah, it does. And see, here we are. And you see, what gets me is when some of us decide that we're going to support, and I don't understand that.
Period.
And this is one of the education pieces that we want to do at my church. Don't you remember back in the day how hard it was for us to even get the right to vote? We had to count jelly beans.
Yeah.
We had to take literacy tests, and we had to pay poll taxes in order to vote. And then now you have all these guys and these girls walking around saying, "Oh, my vote is not gonna count." You need to vote just to honor your forefathers and your parents and all of them who went through all of this trouble just to give you that right to vote. You need to understand what they did. All you have to do is fill out 10 little questions on that voter registration card. They had to pay that literacy test. I mean, the literacy test, it'll say you have 15 minutes to get this. It takes you more than 15 minutes to get through that first page. It's a joke. And that's what it was, because it was designed to keep you from voting. Not a deterrent, but it was trying to prevent you. And look, you didn't even have to do the literacy test if you could prove you made it through the 5th grade.
Yeah.
So you know who didn't have to take the literacy test because they made it through the 5th grade. It was us. Yeah. We can't prove we made it through because a lot of us probably did not.
Right.
A lot of us. And then you mentioned that they are taking things out of the schools. They are not allowing us to teach our history. Our kids don't know where we came from. They will sit there when they get stopped by the police. What's their first question? What did I do?
What did I do?
Do I need to tell you what you did? Your parents haven't had that conversation with you?
Right.
You didn't.
And I have boys and nephews, and I definitely tell them the same thing, because you got to know you're right. You don't have to show them nothing. You ain't done nothing. Okay, so what are we doing? What are you doing? And they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know anything. The only thing the idiot 45, they continue to say, these are the young kids that I've been talking to, because my grandson is 25, and oh my God, his friends, I just want to take all of them and just hit them aside the head with something. But his friends, his peers are saying crazy stuff that I know they got to be hearing it out of their homes, is that, oh, Trump gave us money. But they don't know Trump gave them absolutely nothing, and all he wanted to do was put his name on the check. But
that's exactly right.
They had to fight him to put his name on the check because he didn't want y'all to have nothing. And I can't get this through the kid's head that when he gave you, I think it was, I don't know what, $1,200 or whatever he gave
us.
Yeah. So when he gave us that amount of money, you was already broke. Now, from then to now, you still broke. What did he give you in between?
Absolutely.
And this is the thing. How long does it take for a stimulus package to be approved? He didn't even approve it. He might have issued it because he was in office at the time. But that president before him is the one that put it in place. But that is what I have heard too. I could not believe somebody else has actually said that. We want that stimulus money again. He gave us the stimulus money. You're being bought for $1,200. Really?
That's it.
You're being bought for $1,200. I think we call that slavery. Because you're allowing that to influence you. That is not going very far. And you may not ever see it again, but you're taking a chance that I'll get this another check. Really? Taking a chance.
My wife says Speaker Pelosi organized the COVID check.
Right.
See, but he's taking, but they're thinking he did it because he was in office.
Because he was in office and because he signed that zigzag name. That's all they saw was his name on it.
That's right.
They don't know the fight that they had to get to that. And what is $1,200? Let me tell you, you got $1,200 to do what with?
Buy another pair of shoes.
Listen, before you cash it, you broke.
Right.
So I don't get the concept of $1,200 and you're gonna give me this and he gonna give me another one. Trump told y'all that he do not care about you. He said that he would run as a Republican because they're the dumbest people. They will believe anything that he said. And guess what? They believe him. They believe in him now. And the only people now, if I had a couple of $1 billion, I might go ahead and vote for Trump because he's gonna give me a little cut, I don't have $1 billion. And I don't see it coming right now today. But as long as I got God, I'm okay. But all this other foolishness about this man doing whatever he gonna do, he's saying he gonna do. He never says, if you say, Trump, what color is the sky? Oh, wait a minute, I almost said another word. That joker would say something stupid and not answer the question. He has an issue with women, not just Black women, but any woman of power that would stand in front of him. He's so disrespectful. And you want that to be the man that we go and say, this is our president? I'll never say that. Never. What an idiot he has been. He ain't changing. He gonna fall on his face, still being an idiot. That's my view now. Y'all don't call me and tell me nothing crazy because I'm gonna start cussing and I don't want to do that.
Mike Watson say 45 is organizing a big tax cut for billionaires. And none of us in our circle,
none of us.
No. That tax cut is not
for us. It's not for us.
And look at how disrespectful he was. Oh, I got my mug shot, so now I'm just like y'all.
Yes. Girl. Miss Birdie, I was a fighter back in my day, and I was trying to change, but he won't let me change because I still want to do some things. Because when I see us say and accept that he says, oh, now I'm like y'all, or who could relate to that? You'll never be like me.
That's why I want to slap some of these young people right upside their head.
That's right. Because
Please, just
don't you hear him? Don't they realize what he's saying? That he is disrespecting us,
Yep.
belittling us, all of
Yes.
us
All
across
of
the
us.
all of
board,
us.
And
all of
he
us.
has all of us. Well, no, he don't have all of us, but he have some
The
of us
majority of us.
who are going by what he's saying, and then you're disrespecting some of us as well, because you can't talk to me crazy. I'm gonna let you know that right off the bat. I'm gonna give you a look to give you a little hint that you need to back away. But to talk to me crazy because this man has opened the door and allowed people to say, okay, that's a good idea. We can do this. I can say different things to you. No, I think I'm gonna be in jail for a long time because I'm gonna do something to you. You can't do that. We have to go back to, I wouldn't have to say the yes ma'am, no sir kind of thing, but we have to know who we are. And I could respect Miss Birdie. I don't care if Miss Birdie is 10 years younger than me. I still can put Miss in front of her name. I have to honor her and give her that respect. We don't have that no more. And only because he does it on a regular basis and all of them think it's
right
good.
out in the open.
In the open.
Right out in
Right
the
out
open.
in the open. He don't try to hide what he does.
Not at
He
all.
don't try to throw the rock and hide his hand.
Not at all.
He feels that he can do whatever he wants to do.
Yes.
When he wants to do it.
So, Miss Birdie, we have you on here so you can help some of these peoples get to the ball game. And the ball game is the World Series November the 5th. And in order to get to the World Series, we got to have all our bats and balls and gloves in order. So
100 participation.
At 100, we cannot fool around and let him make another phone call somewhere and say, "Hey, I only need 12,000," and we can't make nothing close. We have to go and vote and go above and beyond any kind of way that we can do it. So
everyone keeps saying it's going to be a close race, but it doesn't have to be.
It don't have to be.
No, we don't want a close race. From the look of it, I would be surprised if it's a close race.
I don't. If everybody do what Miss Birdie just said, and I know Miss Birdie, there's another Google that we can go to. Is it Can I Vote or which? I think that's it. Yeah, Can I Vote? Can I Vote? So that we can see if we are one of those who have been purged to not suspended or something.
On suspense. If we're on suspense, it will tell you, right? Because it says, check my voter status. You want to check your voter registration status. That's what you want to do. Check your status. We have a month, more than a month before that last day to register to vote for this election. The last day is October 7th. So this is not September yet. So you have a month. Just go in, check your status. And if there is any issue with it, you don't see your name, you can always register again. Because one of the reasons for registering, filling out a voter registration card is, I lost my card. So how many of us have lost that card?
Right.
We don't know where that voter registration card is.
Exactly.
So you can just fill out a card for that reason. I lost my voter registration card. So you can go in, fill out, and get another one. That is your quickest way. And right now, have this amount of time, that is your safest way. Your best bet is to just register again. All of the churches, the major churches, are going to be offering voter registration.
Right.
Take advantage of that. Just go up and say, I don't know where my voter registration card is. And then they will let you fill out another voter registration card. You just say, I don't know, I lost my card. That is a reason for registering again. That way you will be registered. Whatever your current address is, it will be updated. And that's what you want to do, is update your address so that you won't be on that list of 50. From what I understand, in Fort Bend County, we have 54,000 voters that are on suspense. If they don't get this taken care of, they are subject to be purged. And this is the thing. This is another thing that we might want to take note of. If your voter registration card came to your house and you've moved, then it's going back and you're going to go on suspense. If your jury summons, some of us may not even connect that, but if your
Right.
jury summons comes to your house and it's returned, the elections office gets that information. It doesn't go to the elections office, but they get that information from the county clerk and they send
Wow.
that to them and they still put you on suspense because your jury summons was returned because you were not
Return.
the address that they had. That's right. Or any kind of communication that came from the elections office. If it comes
Oh,
back to you, then you go on suspense.
okay, Miss Birdie. Stay right there. We have to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, this is your girl Linda Scott. I am here to introduce you to Linda S. Jury 1426. Now, some of you know me, some of you don't. But if you don't know me, get to know me. Check out and scan the QR code below. Look at the inventory. I made this. God created. I put it together. See you soon. Wow, welcome back, y'all, and welcome the beautiful Miss Birdie Kelley, who can give you any information about registering, changing your name, changing your address, which is the most important piece, is getting that address changed to match the county that you're staying in. So, God, Miss Birdie, it's so much I had that I wanted to ask you.
I have a quick question for you, Miss Birdie. I don't know. I was invited today. I was over to the senior citizen complex, senior living place. And I talked to the manager. She said, Sharilyn, I will open up the conference room for you. And all the residents can come down and register to vote. And I told her I would be able to check and see if they're registered. One of the questions that I got several times was, what is the turnaround? How fast is the turnaround if they want to do absentee voting? If we fill out the application for absentee voting, what is the turnaround? When will they actually get the absentee ballot? What's the turnaround?
Okay, this is the thing. I do absentee voting because they were having so many problems one year, and those people who were having the problem, they couldn't tell me exactly what the problem was. So I signed up to do mail-in ballot, which is absentee voting. So I do that. This is the thing. You send your ballot in January, you can do it for the entire year. So you don't have to do it again. So I don't do it again. Mine just comes. So when your my ballot will come for this election 4 to 6 weeks before November 5th. 4 to 6 weeks. Now, they tell me in Rosenberg, they send it out 6 weeks before the election, the ballot with the candidates' names on it. They will send it 6 weeks before the election.
Okay.
Now, Harris County says 4 weeks. Of course, Harris County is like 3-4 times as large as Fort Bend.
Right.
But we'll just average it out and say 4 weeks. So you should receive your ballot with the candidates' names on it a month before the election. So November 5th, October 5th. So we're looking at October 5th when you should receive that ballot with those people's names on it. With your
okay, go ahead.
Where do I get the absentee application? How do I get the application?
It's online. You can go online. You can say Fort Bend votes or Harris votes. Okay. Harris votes or Fort Bend votes. It'll be on there depending on which one you want. Whether you want the Harris County ballot, if your person lives in Harris County, they need that one. If they live in Fort Bend County, then they need that one. But you can go online and get it, or you call me and I will send it. I mean, I mail them out all the time.
Okay,
I mail them out, and when I mail them, I give you a whole sheet of information that goes along with it.
That's it. Okay.
So when I'm there in the conference room, and someone says they want to do absentee voting, can I go online and get the application and print it out and can I assist them in filling it out?
Okay, that's tricky. If you assist them in filling it out, you have to fill in that information at the bottom that says, I assisted them in filling it out. You can only do that. Like maybe twice. If you are related to them, if you live in the house with them, but you can't just go to that place and do it and help all of them fill it, because you got to sign it. You have to sign that paper at the bottom saying that I helped them fill out this form. So the best bet is to give everybody the form, and if you let me know, I'll get them for you. I'll be glad to.
Okay.
When you get ready to go, I'll get as many as you want. But what you want to do is give them instructions from the front, so they will all have it. Now, if that person is blind, if that person can't write, then you can fill that form out for them. You can actually fill it out for them, but you still got to write down at the bottom that you did that, and you can go ahead and write down why. But it's, you know, as
You
far
did
as
it.
assistant and all of that, you know, you're limited because now
I
they
was
call
going to
it.
say she only could do it a couple of times though.
That's right. You can only do it a couple of times, but if you know, but it's limited. They did all of that with SB1 when they
Ah,
decided you had to have driver's license and social security. They did all of that. Deterrent, voter
yes,
suppression. That's all it was about. Just something
right.
to discourage the people from voting because now the people are saying, "Well, I don't want to get my daughter in trouble, so I'm not going to have her helping me with this ballot."
And
Or I
so, and
don't
she
want to.
don't vote. She don't register. She don't do any of those things.
So
So
she's not
we
even going
just
to
missed
do it.
out on that.
Right. She's
Yeah,
missed out. Now, you know, with those seniors, they can, if it's, well, if they're in some kind of facility, then they
yeah,
need to vote by mail, do that absentee ballot. They
right,
need to do that. But again,
right.
we can come up and if we can talk to them from the front,
Yes.
maybe we can help them without actually putting anything
Doing
on
it, putting it, yes, yes,
writing. You got to start signing.
Well,
right.
I noticed that they had a blackboard up front. So I can go up front and say, okay, number one, you put your name, and that's not actually happening, right?
That's
And
right.
box two, you put your
As long as you
address.
don't write on that paper. If
On
you
that
don't write
paper.
on that form,
That's the key right there. Don't write on the
Don't
paper.
write
don't
on the
write
paper.
on that form.
That's
Okay,
it.
But then you have to sign it.
I'll walk them through it.
That's it.
That's
That's
right.
it.
Just walk them through it. And yeah, just walk them through it. And like I said, we
Okay,
got
great.
information sheets. And whenever we send them out through the mail, we send out that entire information sheet along with that ballot. I don't ever send out just a straight ballot. I give you that
Right.
information sheet that tells you, first of all, you got to put your name, your driver's license number, and the last 4 digits of your social. If you ever look at one of those forms, they say put your driver's license number, and if you don't have it, then put your last 4 digits of your social. You got to put both.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
Mike was saying, can she invite a VDR to be
To be with her at the
to be with her at the complex? But she is a
Billy
yeah.
and I both are.
So yeah, Mike, she's covered. If she go, I would go with her to assist her. So it would be.
But even as a VDR, you can only fill out so
So
many. Right?
yeah, you can only do two. I can do two.
Right.
But
Because
the best
I
thing that
hesitate.
she said is they have that blackboard, and she one your name, two,
Right.
they're walk them through it.
Right. Walk them
Yeah,
through it.
my
'Cause
thing is just let's not
I
touch that
hesitate to
paper
write
at
on
all.
anybody's form
Right.
because
Yeah.
I know I'm limited on how many times I can write my
That
name.
can help exactly.
So I just
So I
try
can come
to.
by and get some forms and the information sheets from you.
Yes, I'll be glad to get them. You call me, tell me how many you need in what county, and
Yeah.
I will print them out for you, and I will give
Oh,
you
that's
that
excellent.
information
That's
sheet
excellent.
and that form. I will get them for you. I'll be glad to.
The other thing that I see and Sharilyn always say is what about us getting, say that same complex, we need to get them to the polling instead of doing the absentee or whatever someone wants to get there. Anybody, so we'll just say peers, these children, let's take them to the poll. We can't take them to the poll, right? We have to get other people to take them.
No, this is the thing. At one time, they put it out there. If you take people to the polls, like 6 or 7, then they have to fill out it. The driver has to fill out an affidavit. That is only true if the people are unable to go inside. So if they have to all fill out that application or vote at curbside, then you have to fill out an affidavit. It's like, now how many people are going to bring 6 people up there that can't walk? I mean, but this is what it is. See, people think that no matter if you bring 6 people up there, oh my goodness, they were trying to discourage us from doing souls to the polls.
Right.
So after church, we were doing, you were taking people to the polls, but then they were saying if you bring 6 people, now you have to fill out an affidavit. Only if all of those 6 people are going to be voting curbside. If they're voting, if you got 6 people voting curbside, then that driver has to fill out an affidavit. But if these people you're going to take them up there, they are walking inside, or even half of them are walking inside, no problem.
No
Okay,
problem.
no problem. No forms,
So
no
we
nothing.
need everybody. That's what y'all could do. Gather everybody that you know who don't have a car or need a car. And y'all need to pick them up, take them to the poll. We got to get this done. We cannot leave anybody behind.
Yeah. The lady
No.
at the complex is very passionate about voting, and she said that the same bus that she gets them to take to Walmart and take them to the movies, that boat is gonna
Bus.
bus is gonna take them to vote.
Oh, that's
So
very
that
good.
would be-
So as long as they're mobile, and they can walk inside. And this is
Yes.
another thing. If they are limping or on a cane
Yes.
and they go inside, they
Yes.
get to go to the head of the line.
Oh, I
Oh,
think I
wow.
feel a hip. I
Priority
think I
voting.
feel a hip.
This is priority voting, and this is the
Yes.
law. If you have
Yes.
any kind of disability and you are inside the polls,
Yes.
you get to go to the head of the line. Now
Okay.
the judge knows that, but just
Yes.
in case they forget, you just tell them just walk down there and tap them on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me," you just let them
Right.
know
Right.
that you need, that you can't be standing in that line with all those people. You
Right.
need to get in and get out.
Right. And
You
that's a
came
that's a
in, you
that's a
went to
way of
vote.
respect too, Miss
Yes,
Birdie.
it is. But
Yeah,
it is the
that's
law.
a
It's the
yeah.
law. That's called priority voting.
Yes.
Anybody with any kind of visible disability, even if we can't see it, we don't have to
Right.
see it, just like you don't have to
Exactly.
prove it. They don't have
Right.
to prove any of that. They say my leg hurts today or
Uh-huh.
whatever. You
I
get to
feel
go
mine's
to the
hurting
head
in
of the line.
November.
You get to go to the head of the line.
What about viewers? Cassandra said, let her know. Cassandra, we surely gonna let you
Let you
know, and we're
know.
gonna hold you to it. We're gonna be looking for
Exactly.
you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because all of that,
Exactly.
even curbside, going down, that priority voting, all of that. They can't make you prove. I mean, they're not gonna. What are they gonna do? Come over and ask you for a doctor's slip? No, they're
Right.
not.
And that's HIPAA law anyway. So you can't be discussing
Thank
my
you.
health situation
Thank
with
you.
nobody
Nobody.
anyway. So
Right.
right. So Miss Birdie, can you give us some of the important dates for our viewers to hold on to, like the last date of registration? We know that's October the 7th.
October 7th.
So yes.
And if you're registering by mail, the last day to get that ballot into the elections office is October 25th. It's October
Okay.
25th. That's the last day to get that into the elections office. Of course, early voting starts October 21st and goes through November 1st. So that's a Monday, and then October 21st through November 1st. That's early voting. And early voting is good because you skip some of the, and we haven't had lines like, remember I told you in the
Right.
primaries,
Right.
we would sit there, just thrumming our fingers, waiting for somebody to come in. And then we would play games saying, how many do you think we're going to get before 12? It was terrible because nobody got more than 30%. It was terrible. We
Wow,
might have,
man.
and 30, 40 voters. We probably got 200 or 300, but we can get up to 800 at my spot, at my location. I'm the judge, where I'm the judge. It was terrible, but I anticipate that this is going to be a busy election. And the
I
people
think
are
so
going
too.
to be there.
Record-breaking election.
They're going
Yes.
to be there. So early
Yes.
voting, they need to vote early or vote by mail because you don't want to be in that line on
In that
election day.
line. Yeah, I've
Because
had a
you
couple of
don't know how
girlfriends
COVID's
already
gonna be.
said that it's time for us to go do our early voting. So
Right,
that everybody is ready.
right. We want everybody to be right. We want everybody early voting so that you won't have that line. So you won't have to be in line because that's not good
Right.
for you. You don't want to be among all those people, okay? You really don't.
What
Those are, and of course, November 5th is Tuesday election day. That's
Correct.
Tuesday election day. One other thing I wanted to mention, when you do voter registration, if you all do voter registration, if there's one person there, the mother, the mother, the child, or the spouse,
Mhm.
a spouse can register his wife, even though she is not present. Okay.
Okay.
A child can register his parents. You're going to see that mostly when the parents are elderly. Like
Okay.
she's moved from one sister's house, one daughter's
To the
house. Now
next.
she's living with me. He can
Right.
register her to vote in that area. And then
Okay.
you got the spot. And then the mother can register that 18-year-old wayward son who doesn't think he needs to vote. But you can register your spouse, your
Yes.
parent, and your
Yes.
child. And they do not have to be present. All we need you to do is get the last 4 digits of their
But
social.
that's social.
And then when you sign that voter registration card, you sign it and put mother. You
Mother.
sign it
Okay.
and put spouse, or you sign it and put child, son, daughter. But you
Right.
can register
Right.
those people even though they are not present.
Hmm.
So we miss
Okay.
a lot of times those people because they don't come. They don't come to church. They're not going to be there Sunday, but I'm going to let them know you can register that child. He's not coming. We know that. We pray for them.
Right.
I
Right.
pray, I understand. We get it.
Okay.
But
That
so
now I can do that for my sons. Okay, but they ain't coming to church, but okay, here's
hang on.
whatever's
Now,
going
you
on.
can register. You
Okay,
can
that's
register
great.
that child. So if you see
Yes.
the mom and they even give you some idea about, I wish little Johnny was here. Little Johnny
Ah,
doesn't have to be here. All we need is the last 4 digits of little Johnny's social security. Now we know we're not going to get the driver's license. That's too much. But if we can get the last 4 digits, if we can get little Johnny to tell us that, because little Johnny probably doesn't know his driver's license. They stop learning stuff like that. But anyway, if he'll know the last 4 digits.
One of our viewers wants to know, how can we get the information to people that are disabled that they can go to the front of the line? Because most people would know. I didn't know I learned it in the class, in the VDR class. So how do we get that information to them that they can go to the front of the line? Is there a sign posted?
There is a sign posted. We have signs that we have to post. They give
Okay.
us signs. We have a lot of signs that we have to post, and that is one of them.
okay.
One of the things we might do is make sure one is posted on the door. If we can
Right.
post it
Right,
on the
right.
door, that might be a better place for it. Because why would we put it in front of the computer? You already made
And
it to the front of the line.
yeah.
So we need to
Yeah.
post it on the door. That's a thought. I hadn't thought of that, but that's what we'll do. We'll post it at the front
That would be
door.
great.
At
So
the
when you
front when
come
they
in,
come
you
in.
already know that you can
Exactly.
go to the head of the
Exactly.
line.
Oh, and then that's a good thing to know. Wow, that is a great. So I always go early to make sure. Okay, it does not avoid anything to say. Okay, so who is that?
Marceline Renee.
Marveline, she goes to my church.
Okay.
Marceline Renee.
She says she always goes make sure there's nothing that's going to interrupt. So when you go early, you can catch some things, y'all. So there's a benefit to do things early. Get it on out the way. Catch any mistake that they can, because we have to have everything done, y'all. Let's not give them any reason why we can't vote. And no, you can't take this away from us. You're not going to take it away.
We work too
We're
hard.
not doing that. We are ahead of you right now.
That's right. We are ahead. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We are.
And then I'm getting older, Miss Bernie, because I don't need Miss Birdie. I don't need these people trying to take away my Social Security. So I want all these children.
That's right.
That I know to register to vote, so y'all can come and help me have some Social Security. So yeah, all these things are so important, and these are what kids don't understand. It's like I was telling I think it was my sister, that if we get I was going to say blunt, if we get number 45 in the White House, baby, you're not gonna ever see any of your Social Security.
No,
period.
That's right.
Nothing.
They don't need it. We do.
Exactly. So the money that they have. Oh, this is my other thing that I've been telling these childrens, and these are my people underneath me, that I wasn't meant to be outside in the heat. The cotton picking days are already done by my great grandmother and all those people. I am not, unless I am in the house. I'm gonna be that person. I'm gonna be that house person. And that person ain't the word I want to use. But that's where I'm gonna be. Now, where would you be? That's the question that I asked them. So they already say you're dumb, you don't know nothing. So where they gonna put you? Outside? What is your choice other than to go vote, and don't go into that? That's where our ancestors came from. And we don't want to do that.
Our producer had some pictures of Linda and I and Miss Birdie working really, really hard. Let's show those pictures, please.
That don't look like y'all working. That look like y'all standing there grinning.
And you mentioned your ancestors or whoever it was. I didn't pick cotton. I'm number 9 out of 12. My parents my mom and dad had 12 children. I'm number 9. So that first 6 picked cotton. I didn't pick cotton, but I had to pick peas and cucumbers and tomatoes and all those things. And I was out there in that sun and in that heat. And what is our little theme? I'm not going back.
I'm not going back. Not going back.
I'm not going back. And you mentioned some things on this Project 2025. Okay, you mentioned a couple of things on that. If I might mention
go ahead,
a couple
girl,
of things.
there's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Now y'all know it's like 900 pages.
Yes.
They just spent a whole lot of time trying to figure out how to keep us down. Somebody they spent a lot of time. We won't go back. Thank you.
We won't. That's right.
Keep us down. But you mentioned that cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, raising the retirement age. We're already, we want to be able to retire. Enjoy our what we enjoy what we worked so hard for.
Yeah.
While we can still move and walk around and those kinds of things. In the Affordable Care Act. And they mentioned taxes a minute ago. They want to give higher taxes to the working class, but then they want to cut taxes to that 1%.
That's it.
To that 1%.
Yeah.
In civil rights and DEI protections. And you see what they're doing with that.
Yeah.
They're ending all of that. They don't want us to get scholarships or anything. I don't care what they say. They owe us.
They do.
Because of them.
They do.
We're behind because of them. So any programs that they can put in place to help us to catch up, to help us to be on an even playing field, we'll do that. We are doing that.
We are.
We're not saying make a reparation. We're just saying, and what does it say? I'm not asking for a handout, just a hand. All I want to do is be on a level playing field with everybody else. We already have to work twice as hard.
Ms. Birdie, someone said, can you talk about the statement of the residents, the blue card?
Okay, the statement of residence, this goes back to what we were saying about being on suspense. When you're on suspense and you go to the polls, when you sign your name in, it's going to say this person is on suspense. They need to fill out a statement of residence card. This is how you can cure that. But remember, 30% of the people voted, less than 30% voted in March for the primary.
Yes.
So, but if you vote, it's going to say you're on suspense. You need to fill out the statement of residence, blue statement of residence card. You fill that card out, and now you are removed from that status. You are no longer on suspense. Once you vote, and that's going to fill out that form. You got to fill out that form first, because you all might recall in Harris County, one of the politicians went back and reviewed those statement of residence cards, and some of those people had filled out the card, and now they live in Amarillo. Now they live in Austin. They are not eligible to vote in Harris County.
Yes.
So he was able to get a new election based on those mistakes. That was a mistake. So they have to fill out the card first. They have to fill out the statement of residence card before they let you vote. Because if you no longer live in Fort Bend County, then you cannot vote at that Fort Bend polls.
Suspension. What does suspension mean?
Right. Suspension.
What does suspension mean?
Suspension means that you are subject to be purged from the voter roll. Because this is what happens when you move and you don't, and you're new, and they send your voter registration card to you, or they send a jury summons to you, and your voter registration card goes back to the elections office. That jury summons goes back to the clerk's office. The clerk is going to let them know that you moved. And now you're going to be put on suspense, which means if you don't vote, if you don't clear that within the next 4 elections, within the next 4 years is what it amounts to, then you will be removed from the voter roll. And this is where that million voters got lost. But if you think about it, if we had all of those people that did not vote, 70% of the voters did not vote. Some of those people were on suspense. And you decide you're not going to vote this time? So you don't vote, then you don't get to clear that suspense off your record. But if you vote, then you fill out the blue statement of residence card, and it will take it off. So now you're clear until you move.
So Miss Birdie, what's the value of somebody saying, well, I'm not gonna vote it might, like we just said earlier, that my vote don't count. What does that mean? How does that affect whoever wins or whoever loses?
Well, this is the thing. If you think about it, when you vote and somebody else vote, it kind of balances off. But if you don't vote, now that's another vote for them that goes unchallenged. Okay? That vote for that other person is going unchallenged if you don't vote.
Okay.
You need to vote. Also, elections have been won and lost by as few as 5. All it takes is one vote.
That's
But you
all.
have seen elections lost by 5 votes. So your vote does count.
They do.
Your
They
vote
do.
does count. So you need to vote because you could be that vote number 5. You could be that vote number 1. You could be that vote number 1 where those people have won or lost based on the fact that everybody voted or some people just did not. So
okay, that's pretty
I'm going
good.
to ask you a question about the suspension. And okay, so I didn't vote for the last primary, and if I don't vote for this primary, will I not ever be able to vote again? Is that
no.
Is that a permanent situation?
No. All you have, okay. If you moved and you don't vote for 2 elections, 2 general elections, okay? Then you didn't vote for the governor, and then you didn't vote for the president, then you're subject to be removed from the voter rolls. Now you have to re-register again to vote. However, if you only missed that one time, then all you have to do is go and vote, and that's erased off your record. That status is erased. And now you're gonna fill out the blue form, and now you can go and vote.
Beginning of the suspension means.
Okay, I think
suspension just means that you haven't voted.
Can you go over that again? How you can be suspended? One of our audience guests missed it.
Yeah, you can be suspended. You could be on suspense if you did not, if they mailed your voter registration card to your address and you no longer live there, or if you had a jury summons sent to you and it went back. So they're going to be, in either case, they're going to go back to the clerk or to the elections office. And like I said, if you do the jury summons and it's the clerk is bound to inform the elections office that this person's elections jury summons came back. So now you're going to be put on suspense, even though it had nothing to do with an election paper with your voter registration card. So when you do that, then you're going to be put on suspense automatically. You automatically put on suspense. You've got 4 years to take care of that. If you go and vote, then you get that blue card, that statement of residence card. When you're at the polls, you fill that card out, and then you can vote. You can just vote. Only problem is if you're in the wrong county now. When you go to the county, that's a problem.
Okay, so I say, because we're getting closer to the end, we got 2 minutes or 3 minutes left. But the easiest thing that I can recommend, and I'm sure you probably will as well, is to have everybody to go and register to vote, or go and check out Can I Vote? Google Can I Vote? And it doesn't matter what state you're in, because it'll ask you what state you're in, and you check it and you get that information. So if you all do that starting like right now, we could be ahead of the game. So Can I Vote? Google that and get that information and get yourself settled so that we could be ready come. What is the last day to do so? It's October the 7th. We start doing our voting and getting all that stuff done. And then we'll have Madam President on November the 5th. Come on, y'all. Let's do this. Let's do this.
If you have any questions or you need some information about how to vote, when to vote, anything, you can get in touch with Miss Birdie, or you can get in touch with Linda and I, because we are what?
Yeah, that's it. That is it. So, Miss Birdie, thank you so much. And how could the people reach you with other questions outside of from me and Sharilyn?
Just call the Fort Bend website, the Fort Bend Democratic Party website. You're going to get me. I don't know how he did that, but
Miss Birdie Kelley, the lady who knows everything.
You go to the Fort Bend Democratic Party website, and I am going to be. You got 2 choices: the chairman and me. So they're going to have my name and my cell phone number.
Okay.
I still need to talk to him about that, but anyway, that's okay. I'm on there. You go to the Fort Bend County Democratic Party website. You will get the chairman. You will get me. My cell phone number. I answer my phone. He didn't answer his. That's why you're gonna get me.
But he said,
You got you the
when
backbone.
he knew he
on
was,
our
yeah.
podcast, he said you are
His
his backbone.
backbone.
I will
That's
answer.
I
it.
don't know. I go ask Miss Birdie.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Any questions
So-
you have, feel free to call me. Please.
That's it. Miss Birdie, you hang around and we'll say to our guests, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing y'all on next Thursday. We don't know if it's still talking about voting because we got to get this stuff out there to everybody. But however,
Between this Thursday
and next Thursday,
go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe.
but yes, YouTube, and go to our Facebook page too.
Oh,
Facebook page and join the Golden Square podcast. Thank you all so much for joining Sharilyn and I, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Miss Birdie, stay there.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.